Hey guys, Devin Doherty here. Now we're inside the home, and on this video what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the money rooms in the house, including the entry area, and we're also going to talk about the kitchen, the master bedroom, the master bath, and let's introduce our seller and get to the next step.
Devin, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you for having me. Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm here. We're inside now,
Yes.
and what are we going to accomplish today?
Well, you know what? You need to make the most amount of money.
Okay.
Obviously, that's my number one that I want to take care of.
Okay.
So I'm going to really need some pointers from you today on that.
So you ready to do that with having your seller's hat on?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
With your coaching last time, that helped. So I get it. I got to put my seller's hat on.
So when you put your seller's hat on, that's going to give us the ability to not think personally about the things. Because obviously you've been living in the home for a while, right? How long have you guys been here?
10 years.
10 years. So in 10 years you get comfortable.
Very.
And so now it's time to get uncomfortable as we give you the coaching. Are you ready for that?
Fantastic. Yes, I am.
Awesome. Let's give you some coaching.
Okay, perfect.
All right, so now this is really where people see the home for the first time, and so the entry area has to really speak to them.
Okay.
So let's take a look at the formal living area.
Okay.
So we'll just walk over here and just kind of talk about the different areas in this area here.
So I know, Devin, you have talked about, and we've discussed staging. As we're looking at this room, what are your thoughts for the big room here?
Well, that's a great question. And as you know, we want to have this great experience. The buyer, we want to walk in with that buyer's mindset and the buyer's hat. You got the seller's hat on. The buyer's looking to write a check. And so we're trying to get them to write us the biggest possible check. So as we look into this area here, there's certain things that we're going to do to actually get the home ready to show. And then there's like things that we'll do while we're actually showing the home.
Okay.
So for instance, the blinds right now, they're closed. What we would do for a showing is we'd obviously have them open.
Okay.
But we might not have them open all the way. So we would adjust to figure out what we like is the best light. And we can kind of mess around with that.
Okay.
But of course, having the windows professionally cleaned, having things dusted and whatnot, that's really a key ingredient. Obviously, everything looks great right now. As we look at the room, what we talk about is we always talk about, should we use your furniture or should we use stage furniture? And the reason why we might consider using stage furniture is because your furniture might be either too big or too dated or anything like that. And again, with that seller's hat on, I'm not picking on your furniture. I'm trying to get you the biggest paycheck.
Right.
So in this case, what we want to do is we want to just kind of look at the specifics of the room and figure out how we can get as much floor space, but also make the room communicate exactly what the room is designed for from the builder.
Got it.
And so what we have is we have some larger furniture in the room, and what we may do is we may choose to possibly pull this large couch section out and just keep the love seat and the love seat and chair in here as a way of balancing things out if we use your furniture.
Okay.
Now, if we were to not use your furniture, then we might consider possibly a couple of captain's chairs or something else that would give a lot of space to the room.
Okay.
And then you also have some accessory pieces around, and we might consider removing some of the accessory pieces. There's actually 4 pieces in here, and we might cut that down to 2, or we might even go down to 0, depending on exactly what we want. We probably would always have a coffee table, of course, but we might consider getting rid of this piece because, again, we're trying to show the way the builder would show a new staged home. And in a new staged home, you may not have a curio cabinet.
Right.
So that's just that's some of the coaching. As far as the fireplace goes, it looks great. We might be painting the back of that fireplace black with a fire paint spray just to make it get a consistent look in the back. And overall, I mean, some possible couple of changes in the artwork, but that's really how we make money in this room.
Yes.
All right, so now that we've figured out where the buyer's going to fall in love here, let's move into the money room, the kitchen, where she's really going to fall in love. So as we come on into the room, obviously you guys have done an amazing job of doing the remodel here. When did you guys do the remodel?
Shortly after we moved in, probably the end of '05.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's great colors. I love the dark cabinets and the granite is awesome, and the Viking range. You've done a great job in here. So the good news now is that we take the bones of this and we just go to the next level.
Okay.
Ready to talk about that?
I am.
Okay, awesome. So now we're in here. Tell me about the features that you most love about this kitchen.
Yes, I love the double range, especially for the holidays.
Right.
My big refrigerator for the 3 kids, and I love the range because I'm a cooker.
Oh, awesome.
I'm not a baker, but a cooker.
Yeah, I can see it. The 6 burners and everything, it looks phenomenal.
It's fantastic. And then the cabinet space. I mean, I have got space for everything right here. I don't have to run to another room. Nice big pantry for all my spices and things that I need for cooking.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So now that you have the good bones here, right? Now what we want to do is we want to have this buyer's experience where they just absolutely fall in love and feel the way that you feel.
Okay.
And so part of what we need to do is to make sure that when a person person, you know, grabs that oven and they open the door, they're seeing what they feel like is a brand new appliance.
Got it.
So it's the detailed cleaning of the appliances, those kinds of things. And then with the refrigerator, we obviously want them to have that experience of being in there. But when you have that seller's hat on, what we don't want is it packed to the rim with stuff.
Right.
We want it to feel like, oh, they could grab the bottle of water in there if they wanted to. They want to make them feel like they're home.
Okay.
And then, you know, obviously with the Amazing Viking, just, you know, getting it detailed out to where people can really get excited about it. Maybe even using one of these shelves for staging purposes so that people can see that it's a working range, you know, for warming and those kinds of things.
Perfect.
And then, of course, we'll be able to show them all the other great features of the kitchen as we go through it. But I really love this big island.
I know, it has been. It's a mainstay. In fact, we can't get people out of here sometimes. We have other stuff going on in the house, and everybody wants to stand right here.
Yeah, well, this is the Hangout Central. And then, of course, with the access to the family room, it's just phenomenal. So it must be really great to have this environment, and then also to have this environment as well. Tell me more about what goes on back here.
Well, definitely, like, especially in the summertime, 4th of July, you know, we've got, like I said, everybody hanging out here, but as you can see the pool. I can see the kids in the pool. I can tell when people need food as it's going out over in the patio. The other thing that's kind of a bonus, actually it's a big bonus, 4th of July fireworks are right over
awesome.
here in the soccer
fields. right at Lake Micheville,
So we have everybody up on the fence or up in the mast or watching the fireworks.
That's fantastic.
It's really fun.
I just love the way that you can kind of have Command Central here and you're able to still see everything that's going on.
Definitely.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've talked about the awesome environment, now let's look at the details. And the details that we have are the staging things that are going to make a difference. Obviously, one of the things that we always do in kitchens is we get everything out.
Okay.
We want the counters to be completely clear as much as possible, and then we'll restage. You have some really cute things that'll go in here. You know, there's stuff that's okay, but the coffee machine would probably go.
Okay.
The toaster would go.
Yes.
Those things aren't necessarily everyday items that people want to know where they are.
Okay.
When they move in, of course, they'll put them right back. But we're just in that situation. Obviously, you got this great wine cooler here.
Yes.
Make sure you put that favorite bottle of champagne that we can
celebrate
when we put this thing into escrow and when we close. And then, of course, we want to obviously bring the features of the whole place together.
Okay.
There's going to be some other accessories that we're going to want to bring in, and that's really what it comes down to.
Okay.
You have so much space in here that people are going to be really excited about that. So the other thing is that I noticed the pet bowl. We got Bentley, who's an awesome dog. What we find is that everybody's a dog lover that's a dog lover, and then there's about 50% of the population that are allergic or don't like pets. So in order to make sure that we don't have an issue with pets, what we normally do is for the first couple of weeks, we have Bentley either take a vacation or we make it as pet neutral as possible.
Okay.
And it's not personal because we're wearing that seller's hat.
Yes.
I have 2 dogs of my own, so I talk about it very carefully, but at the same time, if we can make it a non-pet home for at least the first couple of weeks when we have the majority of the showings, that can put you in a really good situation. So now that we're standing here at the closing table, what I can tell you is that this island or any feature in a kitchen is the best place to negotiate a deal. So whether you're a buyer's agent or a listing agent or a seller, make sure that this is the best possible area of your home. And what you want to do, just to reiterate, is you want to make sure that the place is spotless, that the room is uncluttered. That's both inside the drawers and outside. People will pull your cabinet drawers. They're going to look inside your refrigerator. They want to feel like they live here, and that's what we want to give them, is we want to give them that feel. So that may sound like, wow, they're getting private on me. Well, remember, we've got the I sell here hat on, not the I live here hat. So if you want the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of hassle, you want to take this coaching, but you also want to make sure that your buyer's agents and that your listing agents are staying in this location for a good chunk of their showing, because this is where people really fall in love. They'll be quick to want to move on, but bring them back to this location for more conversation.